Individual events are speaking events done by one person against anyone that is in that room. At this tournament, we'll be doing three types of individual events. The first one is original oratory, interpretation, and extemp, which is in a different video. So these two events, original oratory and interpretation, are 10 minutes maximum with a 30-second grace period. We don't have a minimum time limit, but you have to consider the fact that these speeches are pre-prepared. They should be memorized and they should really have charisma and articulation and lots of detail. Speakers that are below 5 minutes should not be receiving first place because they didn't have as much information to memorize as the person that is speaking for 10 minutes. So you want to be looking at giving the first speaker in a round the person that is closest to that time and has the most detail and interest within that topic. So I'm going to go over a few of the things that you'll see within each of these categories. First is original oratory. Original oratory is an original topic that the student themselves has written a speech on. It should be focused something that is timely and a unique piece or a unique look at something that's happening in our world today. Essentially, they should have a clear thesis and main points that support that, like any other speech you've seen before. One of the biggest elements of this is at the end there should be some type of call to action or an idea that we should be thinking about as we judge this, or what they want the audience to clearly get from their speech. That should be easily seen throughout the end of their speech. So organization and analysis is key in this speech, whether it's something like talking about school bullying or the incident of analyzing the Sewol ferry incident and how our government responds to chaos that happens within South Korea. So that speech, they should be able to articulate very well and use the space correctly. One of the things that you'll notice in this speech is, besides these elements, are the stylistic elements, how they use their hand gestures, are they using purposeful gestures, are they very nervous, and how they use the space in the room. Do they walk around, shuffle, sway side to side, or plant their feet? The next one is interpretation. And there's two events going on. Some students will be giving a dramatic interpretation, others will be doing humorous interp. They function very much the same. These pieces are from a selection in a book or from a movie or play. Students that pick these topics will then be memorizing the entire speech or memorizing the entire piece and embodying the characters within that piece. Some may only have one character they embody and give a full monologue of that character. Others might do 2 or 3 characters. What is something to note is they'll do some introduction that is a part of the script, then go into a personal introduction where they will talk about what we will see in this piece and introduce where the piece comes from. There should be a clear message that we're going to see throughout the piece that they are able to analyze in that introduction, which is only about a minute, maybe 30 seconds long. Through the rest of it, you want to look at character development. How did they use their voice to change between characters? How do they use their posture to embody that character? And the use of the space as well. You'll see lots of different vocal varieties to emphasize points or bring emotion into their delivery. And that's really what you're looking for in these pieces. Something to note on both of these is when you give your feedback, you should be taking notes throughout the entire round. As each speaker gets up and presents their topic, you should compare and rank each speech compared to the ones you've seen previous. I usually do this by putting very, very nonchalant maybe the first person that I think is doing the best in the round on top, and then the other ones behind them, or moving them, shuffling them in between each other. Each speech you should be taking notes on, not only on the delivery elements, but the overall analysis of the topic or embodiment of the character, how they are doing this in a really good way. You should note the topic, how they deployed their analysis and their embodiment of the character, how they use their space, and any type of vocal emphasis they have. Many speakers might be monotone, so helping them get out of that or giving them feedback and expression. You can give verbal comments to the whole room at the end of the presentations from each of the speakers, but save your personal comments for the actual feedback that you write on their ranking paper. So this is individual event. Does that work? Is it not stopping?